Hello, everybody. So, on kind of a last minute review type thing, I just finished an album that was probably going to show up in this next Friday wrap ups video, but I liked it so much I want to go ahead and make an impromptu video for it. And while I'm doing that, this feels like an appropriate album to do it to. Clairo Charm just came out July 24th, 2024. Double 24 there. I'm also going to do a mini kind of tutorial, I guess, of how to make some tea that I have. And I was feeling some tea. Just kind of do a double thing since, I feel like it'd be a good activity to do while I talk about the album. First off, I'll talk about the tea and then I'll get to the album as I'm setting up all the process. I filled the kettle I got this kettle from an old roommate, about, let's say 2-3 years ago now when they moved. And it's the last time we saw each other in person. We still keep in contact off and on. But don't fill it higher than the spigot here. About a little over under halfway or so. Has a max fill line on most kettles, but generally just don't fill it over the spigot line inside. And then turn it medium to high, roughly or so. And while I'm getting my tea bags ready, that needs to be boiling first. We need to have our air coming out, our steam coming out. I'll talk about the album. I made some notes this time around for the first time in a while. Clairo Charm is a follow-up to her 2021 album, Sling. I checked my Spotify kind of setup on it about everything I liked on that album. There wasn't a song I disliked. Everything on it I liked. I can't pick out anything specifically, but I've never been exactly a huge Clairo stan. I've never been very much seeking out all the singles, going to all her albums or songs. I just not down my rabbit hole. I'm a bit more on energetic, upper mood type music. Clairo is known to be kind of a slower singer-songwriter artist, but this album really impressed me, and that's why I want to go and talk about it impromptu. I just finished it yesterday. I started it about 2 or 3 days ago. I think I might have started it Friday night when it came out, the first song or two. Took a pause, listened to a little bit the day after, took a pause. And then yesterday while I had family in town, I was going to be driving a lot. And sometimes when I knock out these new albums, I'll be like, oh, a drive or something like that is a perfect time to listen to these albums. So I gave it a shot with my fiance, and it turned out to be really good. My highlights on first listen would be the first 5 songs: Nomad, Sexy to Someone, Second Nature, Slow Dance, and Thank You. Add to My Love, which is later on the album, and then the last song, Pure 4. I think the album opens and ends really good, and that's something that I'm excited to go back and re-listen, maybe try to loop it once or twice and see how I feel about just re-listening to it back in on itself. I love albums that have either a theme that helps loop it back into the same, either skits or themes that make it easy to re-listen to over and over again, or albums like this that just have really good intros and outros, so it makes them a smooth listening experience. Just go straight back into another listen if you're really not paying attention to your phone and you want to let it just ride out for a while. I think it's a sign of a really good album if you can do something like that where it's just so infectious that you can't get enough of it. My breakdown so far of songs that didn't really hit me would be, after the 5th song, Thank You, Terrapin, Juna, Echo, and Glory of the Snow. And I think specifically before the last song, Echo and Glory of the Snow, my only big note on first listen is that the slowest part of the albums is the last 2 songs leading up to Pure 4, the last song. Pure 4 is still kind of slow, but it's exactly the medium amount of energy I want to ride me out for a Clairo album. And I saw a lot of people online talking about how this new album was they're joking about how we have Brat Girl Summer, now we're getting Sad Girl Summer because Clairo's out. But this album isn't that sad to me. It has still sad tone and the themes and subject matter about I want to be sexy to someone, the second song. But there's still upbeat and hopeful, really nice things thank you, thank you for being a fan of me for all these years, or supporting me in my shows and my music and things like that. Even though she takes years to drop albums, I'm okay, that's a really sweet way to kind of address your fans and in the music. I love that. What I'm doing here is bagging up some tea leaves. I do have a few that are kind of spreading around here, but I wiped down my countertop in case this happened. The tea I'm using today, I'm putting from the album back to the tea guide, is a almond flavored green tea, and you steep it for 3 to 4 minutes. Now, if you have bags like this, you could bag it yourself, or there's a lot of already pre-bagged teas and you just set it in there. I just really like this brand of tea, so I'm going to be making it today. But back to the album review. I really like Sling 2021. I know I had the cover art of her with her dog, and this one just has a kind of cover of like her laid out on a couch or like a bedspread or something somewhere. Yeah, it was pretty good, smooth listen. Not as sad as I expected it to, given her last album especially. That's the only full project I listened to by her was Sling before this. But overall, been a really good listen, and I would highly suggest it to you. I would say the genre breakdown of this album would be singer-songwriter, like slow pop, indie songwriting type beat. Let's see. Yeah, it gets a little more upbeat, especially in the first half of the album, but I would say around Terrapin or Juna onward, the album starts taking a natural slowdown if you focus on the way a track listing lays out for a lot of albums. Unless they're like a rap album, or even on some rap albums, but a rap album or dance album, things like that. Most natural album rollouts come to like the first half is more upbeat, singles, things like that. The second half ends up being like the slow down, the wind down of the crowd, like the intimate songs you play live and kind of get the audience like slow down, lighters out, camera phones up, all that. But it's ended up being a great surprise listen, and honestly, I wouldn't say it'd be my top 10s listens of the year yet, but it would debatably be top 20. So I'm really excited to kind of go back into the second listen. The last bits of info I'm trying to think of before I kind of finish out this little tea guide here is that I don't think there were any singles for this album. Let me know in the comments if there was. The only ones I saw that had lyrics up already was Second Sexy to Someone. So I'm thinking if there was one or two singles, that was one of the ones, because all the other songs didn't have lyrics yet because the album's so new. So that's one part of it that I'm a bit curious about, if anybody knows more info about this album, outside of me, since I'm not very deep in the Clairo fandom like that. I would compare Clairo to Mitski, Phoebe Bridgers, that type of style of music. Phoebe Bridgers definitely being slower, Mitski being probably the most similar, of making both a combo of like upbeat and slower songs in one full cohesive project. As far as I know, this album doesn't exactly have a story to it, so that's one thing that I'm kind of curious about when re-listens, just checking if there's some type of story or something overarching narrative going on that I missed. But this is a pretty good listen. The last steps for this tea, I'll let you know here, is that we're going to be steeping it for about 3 to 5 minutes. I'm going to get 2 mugs out. I'm not going to put the bag in the pot itself. If you're making it just for yourself, for people who like all the same type of teas in your house, you can do that. But usually I would do 2 if I'm putting it in the pot itself, in the kettle itself. But I'm going to get 2 cups out and then get my fiance's favorite tea bag out, in case she wants to split some with me, because she likes different kind of tea than I does. Like a very specific kind, but that's okay. Everybody likes their own types of teas and stuff. I don't think you could use this for coffee. I'm a big coffee person, but I think it's most kettles are just used for tea and things like that. Yeah, as you can kind of hear, started getting up there a little bit on steaming, getting it boiled up in there. So I'm gonna grab the mugs and then kind of go over my final thoughts on the album and anything else I'm kind of thinking of while I'm going at it. So Reese's mug, and then just one of these little Simple Red mugs. We got some local honey, and then our favorite little tea brand. Final thoughts. I'm excited to go back and just re-listen. I've already thrown it on my playlist. I might just listen to it in full soon. The next kind of impromptu album reviews I want to do on this channel, I want to kind of pump out faster. I might still do a few edits, but I'll probably upload them the same day that I record them, just to remind myself to actually get it out. That's kind of the bit of the issue I had with the Charlie XX video, although I did start filming that one, and it was so hot it overheated the laptop I was using. So my goal was to have that video out by a month after Brat was released, but it did kind of end up being a Charlie XCX history and album review. And as a bit of a bonus, since I know it's going to be a longer video anyways, I'm going to soon try to find an LP copy of Brat and do an unboxing for that video as a little treat for the end of it, both to myself finally finishing the video and to the viewers, to kind of show like what the Brat vinyl would look like, since it's been talked about online pretty frequently this year. Brat Girl Summer is still in effect. I see a lot of people online blasting the shit out of it, making memes out of the formats of the generation post, like text generation post website that she has, which will include in the video. So yeah, I'm excited to kind of get that video finished out, and I highly suggest listening to Clairo Charm. And since I haven't said it yet on this video, I'll probably stick with the text at the beginning, but also as a reminder at the end to like, comment, subscribe, share with people. I've seen the channel's close to 20 subscribers. My short-term goal is 100. My current long-term goal is 1,000, so that would be great, but we're almost at 20. I think hitting 100 is pretty doable. If not by the end of the year, then by next year, but by the end of the year would be pretty cool. So, hope y'all are staying cool out here. My tea is almost done, so that kind of wraps up most of the process here. But, in case you're curious, I'll go ahead and get most of it all set up, at least for my cup. I'll just take it here. If you do need a hand, what's it called, a hand oven mitt, you could use that. Just make sure not to burn your hand. And then after, this was on medium-high, and you want to heat it up on. I don't know if I mentioned that already, but just as an instructional. You can typically leave it after it starts getting to its boiling point around medium-low or low, and then just kind of leave it warm to drink throughout the day as you like. Just if you leave the house or something, or start heading to bed, just remember to turn it off for the night. I don't think I made that mistake yet, or at least for my kettle, but I have left tea. Like, I've made tea with the bag in the kettle, and I've left it overnight, and that kind of ended up spoiling it. But yeah, that's my tutorial of my little how to make tea in a kettle guide. I felt like that was a perfect vibe to fit Clairo's Charm album. Like, I think it's very, very homey, very, like, I think all of Clairo's music gives, like, I'm in a cottage in the woods, and I'm making tea for me and my friends and listening to a record laid out. I can walk outside and look at the deer roam in the plains type of music. So I feel like this would be a perfect combo of things to do together. Stay cool out there. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, drink a lot of water, stay hydrated. Love y'all.